Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation, startups, the future. Not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and please drop a note on Apple Podcast. I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, a while back, I talked a bit about the pop sockets story. And the interesting thing about the pop socket story, and everybody knows pop sockets, those things you stick on the back of your phone, right? And they pop out and they pop in. And it's a handle for your phone, so you can hold it when you're doing selfies. And it's also a stand, you can use it to have a stand. But the original concept behind pop sockets wasn't that at all. In fact, the original idea was to have two on the back, and it was used to wrap your earbud cord, because that's what they were doing. And at the time, earbud cords were a big hassle. So the pop socket guy created this and sent it out to a bunch of his friends, and they came back and gave him feedback that they weren't using it as an earbud cord, but they were using it as a stand and a holder and all that stuff. So he reworked the product to be a single pop socket on the back of a phone, and bada bim, instant success. Well, I don't know if it was instant success, but it was a success. Now you go everywhere, you're going to see pop sockets everywhere. Huge deal. What happened? He was having a problem with his earbuds. That's how he came up with the original idea. He had a personal issue with his earbuds. And then he came up with the idea. He actually did something about it. I mean, we all do that. We all have issues that we complain about, right? I mean, if you go through the course of every day, every single day, we all have pain points. There's always a pain point. There's always pain. None of us have a smooth day. Day after day after day after day, we have issues that sort of crop up during the course of our day. We're like, oh man, that's a pain in the ass. I don't want to do that. Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? Why does it have to be like this? Any one of those pain points, you may not be the only person who experiences those pain points. There's lots of people who experience those pain points. In fact, I was reading the other day about a guy who created marshmallows with the chocolate on the inside because he was having a problem making s'mores. So here's the deal. You've made s'mores. Everyone's made s'mores. S'mores are pretty common, right? So he was having trouble getting the chocolate to stay on the graham cracker, because you had the marshmallow, you got the chocolate, you got the graham cracker, and the chocolate kept sliding off the graham cracker. So what he did is it's one of those little tiny chocolates, and he shoved it into the middle of the marshmallow. He stuck it in the middle of the marshmallow, and it melted perfectly onto the s'more. And he thought to himself, why hasn't anybody done this? This is great. This is genius. I don't know if he thought about that he was genius, but he came up with a solution for his problem. I mean, this is the same thing. I mean, whether it's the guy who created pop sockets or the guy who created chocolate in marshmallows or Elon Musk, they all did the same thing. They all had a personal issue with something. They had a problem. And instead of just complaining about the problem, instead of sitting back and complaining about the problem, they went out and came up with a solution for the problem, and then productized that solution and got it out the door. You don't think there's thousands of people out there who complain about their chocolate slipping off of their s'more? You don't think there's thousands of people who complain there's no way to hold their cell phones, especially now that the phones have become sort of like the only media source? I mean, how many people actually watch this on their laptops? How many people actually watch this on their phones? Most people are watching this on their phones. Most people are watching YouTube videos on their phones. They don't watch YouTube videos on their laptops or on their TVs. God, no. They watch it on their phones. And what's the best way to prop up your phone so you can watch something on your phone? A pop socket. See what I mean? And it's the same with Elon Musk. Every time he's had a successful new product, it's because something has bugged him. The most obvious example, the Boring Company. Why is he building a company to dig tunnels under LA? Because he hates LA traffic. This is the thing. All of us have complaints. All of us have issues. All of us have things that we deal with, pain points that we deal with in our daily life. All of us. But what do? We complain about it. That's all we do. We complain about it. Do we come up with a solution? Maybe we come up with a solution. Maybe we brainstorm a bit and we have ideas. But what happens next? Do we execute those ideas? Do we get those ideas out the door? No. What we do is we ideate. We come up with a concept. And we end up with a concept. And then years later, we're surprised when we see somebody else has done that same thing. We need to take our ideas and execute them. We need to take our ideas and turn them into reality. We can all do this. It's been proven time after time after time after time that it is how these entrepreneurs become successful. See the problem. It's a personal problem. You don't have to go far to find the problem. It's a problem that bothers you today. Envision a solution. Use your creative human mind to come up with a solution. And then once you use your creative human mind to come up with a solution, try to build a product that solves the problem. Then get the product out the door, let people play with it, let them decide to modify it, pivot it, change it, so that it meets what they're looking for, and then boom, get it out there. People are like, oh, this is so complicated, it's so difficult. Not necessarily. I mean, you have plenty of contract manufacturers out there who build things. You can build initial prototypes yourself. It's not as difficult as you think. You just have to be creative and you have to be solution-minded. And you know what, folks? We all are. As human beings, we are all solution-minded. We just need to come up with the right problem and the right solution. And it's usually something that bugs us personally. That's it for me for today. See you next time. And until then, don't forget to think future.